Hello and welcome to the third episode of the In My 20s and Tired podcast. I'll always keep struggling with how to pronounce that. I just don't know. If you're watching this on YouTube, you might think, what is going on with your makeup? And I mean, same. I recorded a palette bingo with all the Jeffree Star eyeshadow palettes that I own. I own 6, so I had to work with 6 eyeshadow shades. And I don't usually do that. I am not that creative. I don't know why I tried to do that. But this is the result. I took off my lip gloss because I had a little bit of lunch before I filmed this, because I don't know how long this episode is going to be. The previous ones were around 30 or 40 to 45 minutes, I think. So I don't know how long this is going to be. And I was so hungry. I wasn't hungry. I wanted to have lunch. Okay. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about the struggles of being vegan. I'll talk a little bit of how I went vegan, but not too much, because I have talked about how I went vegan so many times. I had somewhat of a podcast before I started this one, and I talked about how I went vegan on there. I believe I probably have a video on that on my YouTube channel as well. So I'm not going to talk too much about that, but I am going to talk about the struggles of when I started going vegan and the struggles that I still have today. I have been vegan for almost 5 years. The beginning of July, around the first couple of days of July, is when I'll be vegan for 5 years. Or well, it would be 5 years when I started going vegan. So that is what today's main topic is going to be about, but I'd like to talk about a few other things before I dive in the main topic, because I think that's more fun. So a little bit of a personal update. If you listen to the previous 2 episodes, we are in a world crisis right now, which is kind of strange. I work as a teacher 2 days of the week. I'm still in school to become a teacher, but I have a paid teacher job, and I don't have to go in 2 days a week anymore because the children aren't there. Next week I have to be there for 1 day, and I'm gonna take care of some children from parents that have vital professions. So we take care of those kids. And yeah, my classes are canceled, or the physical classes are canceled until the 1st of June, which is insane. I'm not gonna go to school until June, and maybe even longer if they extend it. But this is what my school has already decided to do. And the school that I teach at, which is a primary school, I teach 4th grade, they aren't gonna go back to school until the 6th of April. But next Tuesday, the government is gonna tell us what the new plans and guidelines and restrictions are gonna be. So that might be longer than that. So I am really curious to see what they're gonna do to the primary schools. I spoke to some kids earlier this week because I was in school on a day that there were no kids at school, and I called the parents, I called the children, and most of them really wanted to go back to school. And it's funny because you always hear kids, especially around the age in grade 4, that they don't like school or they kind of misbehave, and then now that they can't go to school and they can't see their classmates and their friends, they really want to go back to school. And I really miss them too. So that was really sad, but it was really nice to hear their voices and to kind of talk with them and talk with their parents, because I hadn't met all their parents yet. I only started teaching that group in February. So I don't even know the kids that long, but I already miss them. I haven't seen them for 2 weeks now, and it's so weird. Yeah, what else did I want to talk about? Some personal updates. Yeah, me and my boyfriend caved and we purchased the Nintendo Switch. We got a Nintendo Switch Lite because we can't afford the regular Nintendo Switch, and they also, I don't think, were available. We saw that the regular Switch was sold out pretty much everywhere, and Switch Lite in certain colors were also sold out. So we quickly purchased the gray Nintendo Switch Lite, and I like the gray color, it's fine. And we also purchased Animal Crossing. So we've been doing that a lot. So we played this morning already for like an hour. I'm ashamed to admit this, but we played during our online class because it was just kind of checking in with each other to see how everybody's doing. And I mean, I listened to them, to what they were saying, and but still we played during our online class, and I feel a little bad, but not too bad about that. Also, I live in this sort of apartment complex. It's a little strange, but I live downstairs with my boyfriend. We have a huge garden or yard, whatever you call it. I should really start like a little vegetable garden. I really should do that, actually. Yes. That was a side note. But my upstairs neighbors, they were always having loud intercourse, and it was really gross, and really, I mean, it's gross to actually hear your neighbors doing it. It's really not fun, I can tell you that. And now they are moving house because she's pregnant. We probably heard the kids being made. If that is too much information, I'm sorry, but also I wish I didn't know that. And now for the next people that are gonna live in the apartments upstairs, or our upstairs neighbor's apartment, they're gonna get a brand new bathroom. I am so jealous because our other neighbors, the ones that are super loud and always play their music very loudly, they got a brand new kitchen when they moved in, and she moved in maybe a year after I moved in here, and I didn't get anything. And my kitchen is old and ugly, and my bathroom is old and ugly, and there's things in there that I don't want to know what they are. So I'm just mad that we don't get to have a new bathroom or kitchen. Bathroom. It's not bathroom, it's bathroom. My English teacher would be so ashamed of me. Actually, no, she would be proud of me because, like I said, I live in the Netherlands. English is not my first language, but I create pretty much all my content in English because I prefer it. I really enjoy speaking English. That is actually such a Dutch thing. If you are English and you, for instance, move to the Netherlands, Dutch people will probably keep speaking English to you, even though you might want to speak Dutch, just so we can show off our English skills to you, because we just really want to show off our English skills. I'm just checking my phone real quick here because my boyfriend is, like I said, helping his dad, and I don't want to still be filming when he comes home. I don't think I ever told him that I started this podcast. It's not a secret or something. It's just, I don't know. He's not into the podcasting, video creation thing, content creating. He's not in this world. So, not saying that I'm in this world per se, but I'm doing it. And I think that is everything that I wanted to say. Oh, well, the point of my new upstairs neighbors getting a new bathroom is that they have a bunch of construction going on and that it's very loud. And I'm so glad that my boyfriend was gonna go to his parents a little later on the day, because they started at 7:30 a.m. with working on the bathroom, which is pretty much on top of our bedroom. So we were woken up at 7:30 a.m. this morning, and that's early for us. I mean, our alarm was gonna go off at 8:30 because we had the online class at 10 a.m. But still, it's I don't like loud noises. They really mess with my head. I get really bad headaches with loud noises. And if I drop something and makes a lot of noise, it makes me cringe and it kind of almost pains me. It's so weird. I don't know what that is. But I really can't stand and I can't deal with loud noises. I don't know why. So that is the personal update. I had this idea for this podcast to do like the introduction and then a personal update and then to go into a news something. But there's literally only one thing in the news right now, and I don't want to talk about everything that's going on. So what I do want to talk about is how you can make the best of this situation for yourself. I think that is something that, I still keep it relevant and, kind of up to date with what is going on right now. But I really don't want to talk about, I am not a nurse. I am not a professional in that way. So I don't want to say anything about the virus whatsoever. I just want to talk right now about how to make the best out of this situation for yourself. So you are stuck at home like I am. We're stuck at home, only going outside maybe to walk the dog or do groceries, or maybe play in the yard a little bit with your dog or enjoy the sunshine. And you get bored easily. I get bored so easily, and I have plenty to do. I have plenty to do for my study that I am not doing because I am not motivated at all. And that is a problem. I am not being productive. I could be so much more productive now that I'm stuck at home. But there's something about actually being stuck at home, even though you have so much to do, just nothing gets done. I don't know what that is. If anybody knows what that is, please let me know. So I am gonna talk about the things that I'm gonna do to hopefully be more productive over the next couple of weeks and even freaking months until June 1st. When I hopefully get to go back to school. So I think the most important part to not go insane is to keep in touch with your family and your friends. I am lucky enough that I live with my boyfriend. So I am in contact with my boyfriend a lot, but that can also cause, some friction and some annoyances. I have to say, since we got Animal Crossing and we've been playing Animal Crossing a lot, we haven't been, I wouldn't say fighting. We don't fight. We don't have fights. We have little arguments, but we don't have that many arguments anymore since we both got Animal Crossing, which is super funny to me. But also, right after we got Animal Crossing, I got my period. So I think maybe the week leading up to my period, I was getting more annoyed. So if we did have more arguments, it was probably me. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I know I can be a little difficult sometimes. So yeah, stay in contact with your friends and family. You can do that via Skype or via, FaceTime. There's this app called House Party. I don't know how it works. I have it. I have a few of my classmates on there. We haven't used it yet. I don't know how it works. We also did sort of a group chat in Snapchat. So you can do that. And for school, we stay in contact. We stay in touch through Microsoft Teams, which I think is really useful. For some reason, the app doesn't want to download on my computer, so maybe I have to update my computer. I might do that after I finish recording this podcast. And then I'll play some Animal Crossing. Some other things that I like to do to keep a little bit more organized is to create lists. And I have a bullet journal. I really enjoy my bullet journal. I started one at the beginning of this year. So I think, I do. I think I have a video on my bullet journal in my on my YouTube channel. So I'll link that in the show notes if you want to see what the beginning of my bullet journal looks like. I really should do an updated one, actually. I think that will be fun. Because I've been working in my bullet journal a lot. My dog woke up and I think he's not gonna walk. He has these nails, and even though we just clipped them, he always makes these little sounds on the floor, which is super cute. But it will get annoying if he keeps walking and running while recording the podcast. Yeah. So I make lists. I make daily to-do lists. So let's see. I don't have a long to-do list for today. Okay. So I had my online class. I want to work on one school assignment, and I wanted to film the Jeffree Star palette bingo, which I already did. I didn't write down that I wanted to record a podcast, but I can write it down and then cross it off after I record this podcast. I really enjoy doing that as well. If I already did something productive that I didn't put on the list, I'll put it on there and then cross it off and feel really good about myself. But earlier this week, I had a little bit more things on my to-do list. So if I want to call somebody, I will write it down. If I see my laundry somewhere, if I have my laundry up and it's dry and I have to take it down and put it away, I'll write that down. I write down that I want to work out or work on certain school projects. Any appointments that I have, I'll write them down. So I really, really like my bullet journal for that. And I also write down my podcast ideas. I have a list of all the episode ideas. I write down all the things that I want to talk about each episode. So it is a little bit more structured, and I don't like to think too much about what I'm going to talk about in the podcast episodes because I don't want it to be too scripted. I kind of want it to be a one-sided it is a one-sided conversation. So that is about the list. And the second thing is routines. I really want to get down a routine. I am going to be home every day. There's probably only one day in the week that I have to leave my house and go to the school that I teach at. And that is it. After all the other days, I have to work from home. So I really want to get a good routine down where I am productive, but I'm not pushing myself too much. Because I know if I'm going to push myself too much and if I want to do too many more things that I can or will get done in a day, it's not going to be motivating to me. And I want to have more time for self-care. And that is not, that could be playing Animal Crossing. It's more in my fun or entertainment section, I think, in a routine. But more self-care. So I want to, do my nails. I want to do a little face mask. I want to read a little bit, those kinds of things. So I really want to build a good routine. I don't know what my routine is going to be yet. I want to wake up every day around the same time, not too early. I think 8:30 is really good for me because I don't like waking up too early, but I also don't like staying up too late. So I think 8:30 is a really good time to get up. Yeah. And then, the last thing that you should definitely do is take time to do things that you enjoy. So if you are a workaholic, please take some time to do the things that you enjoy. I purchased a Nintendo Switch. I'm playing Animal Crossing, which is a lot of fun. I do this, I record my podcasts, I film my videos, I edit them, and I have fun with them. I try to be a little bit more creative now that I have more time. Try to do things that you enjoy and don't always try to be super productive, because I feel like when I want to be really productive, I have such high standards for myself, and when I don't meet those standards, I get really disappointed and really demotivated with myself. So yeah, those are the tips that I have for this weird time that we're in right now. If you have any other tips, I would love to hear them. You can either email me. I'll put my email address and everything in the show notes. You can also comment them if you are watching this on YouTube. Hi. Oh no, the battery is almost dead. No. Okay, so I'm gonna take a break right now. I'm gonna charge the battery of my camera, and then we're gonna go into the main topic, which is the struggles of being vegan. So I hope you stay tuned. And I'm back. My camera is charged. And if I look a little bit strange right now on camera, it's because I played outside with my dog. So my hair is a little bit messed up. So yeah, let's see where we left off. Yeah, I was gonna go into the main topic, struggles of being vegan. So my first struggles were, of course, when I started out. And I had to see and find out what was vegan and what wasn't. And wow, my hair is just looking so wretched. I'm sorry. I am super distracted by it. So I'm trying to comb my bangs a little bit, but it's just not working. So mostly the struggles were related to finding out what I could eat. And also what I couldn't eat anymore. I did my own groceries, so that was helpful, but it was still a little, it was something that I had to get used to in the beginning. It didn't take me too long, but I also didn't go vegan overnight. I mean, I wanted to go vegan overnight, but then there were a couple of things like cheese and fish that I really enjoyed that I still ate, but I still called myself vegan just because I pretty much was vegan. I ate a vegan diet, and then sometimes I caved and I ate a little bit of fish or a little bit of cheese, but that's it. My eating habits were already way better than they were before. So I don't know why I suddenly got very winded. And I also have to look at my phone every now and then to see whether my boyfriend is coming home or not. And it didn't take me too long to figure out somewhat of a good routine with vegan food and vegan cooking. And then one of the hardest parts, I guess, the hardest part of being vegan is the social part of it, the social aspect, because you have to tell people that you're vegan. And people always joke, or internet people always joke on the internet, that vegans will always tell you that they're vegan. And I mean, yes, but that's only because usually at parties, meat or cheese is being served. And I always say no thank you. And then I get comments like, oh, you don't eat meat or something? And then I'd say, no, I don't eat meat. And then people will tell me, oh, I got something with cheese or something. And I say, oh, no, thank you. I don't want anything to eat right now. And then questions keep coming. And then eventually I'll tell them that I'm vegan. And I've had this at a couple of parties, especially when I just started going vegan and people didn't really know me as vegan. And I had so many arguments, conversations that I didn't want to have because I wasn't there to make anyone else go vegan. I was just there for a party that didn't serve any vegan food, and you didn't hear me about it. I didn't talk about it. I didn't complain about it. But then other people would ask me questions about me being vegan and why I was vegan and if what if this and what if that, and all the things many vegan people or many vegans hear on occasion. And that is just something that I don't like. I don't like the social aspect of being vegan. Luckily, now that I'm almost 5 years, in this, people know that I'm vegan. I've had most of the conversations. I know what I can say, but it was really hard to kind of fall in that and not know what I wanted to say or what I should say when people commented on me being vegan. So that was something that I really had to get used to. People constantly judging, and also people feeling like I was judging them, even though I don't think I ever judged anyone about their non-vegan diet, because it's not up to me to judge anyone's diet but my own. So I don't. And I know veganism is way more than just a diet. It's an entire lifestyle. I know that. And I don't just have a vegan diet. I consider myself to follow a vegan lifestyle for the most part. So I'm thinking of what else I wanted to say about this, the social part. Yeah, just telling people that you're vegan and mostly feeling judged that you are vegan, and you hear the same response every time. If I eat somewhere with someone, or if I bring my own food, for instance, to school, and people are having, I don't know, something with meat, and they'll tell me, oh, you can't eat this, don't you miss this, don't you miss that? And I'd just be like, no, I don't. I have plenty of other things that I eat that I enjoy way more than the thought of whatever it is you're eating. And I don't say it in a disrespectful way. I just, and usually I am way more respectful towards people than they are to me, to be honest. Because I know that being disrespectful as a vegan towards meat eaters is not going to help me. Even if they are super disrespectful to me and they are being really kind of mean and just weird about me being vegan, if I start being mean back, I'm just gonna confirm their vegan stereotype. So I just kind of made it a point for me to not be like that. So they don't have any reasons to actually dislike a vegan, because they probably haven't met many other vegans if they are being like that, because I don't know many vegans that are actually mean and judgy. I mean, I know a couple, and I don't like hanging out with those kinds of people, which is actually a great segue into the next point that I had written down, which is the vegan police. And I hate the vegan police so much. I hate the idea of vegan policing, because who the hell are you to judge anyone on whether they are vegan or vegan enough? I think this is, of course you don't just do it for yourself when you're vegan. You do it for the animals. And I get that people who are vegan policing kind of have the animals in mind. I would say like, oh, you don't mind eating a bit of fish, but the fish minds you having a little bit of him, something like that. And I kind of get where they're coming from, but also I hope they get that it's really unhelpful to be like that, because it doesn't motivate anyone. You are just being judgy and being negative, and I don't think that helps anybody. So what I usually do, okay, how should I put this? I am vegan in my own way. It's my journey, and there are people who might think I'm doing too much, and there are people who might think that I do too little. For instance, I am vegan in my food, I'm vegan in my clothes and my shoes and my accessories, I'm vegan in my makeup. The only thing that I can think of that I'm not yet really vegan in is hair care, because I haven't really found many brands and vegan, cruelty-free and vegan hair care products that are easily available here, that are also not too expensive. So that is probably one of the only things that I'm not completely vegan in. And that might not be good enough for some people, for some vegans. And I don't care, because this is my journey. And I started off being completely vegan with my food. And sometimes I'm still not completely vegan with my food because I accidentally buy or eat something that has something in it that's not vegan. But I don't do it on purpose, So I consider myself to be completely vegan with my food. That was the first step. Next step were accessories and clothing. I don't buy anything with leather. I never bought anything with fur. And even though fur and leather are kind of the same thing, usually people don't see it as the same thing. And I didn't see it as the same thing before I went vegan. So I don't purchase anything with leather in it. And then about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I went vegan with my makeup. So I now have a completely cruelty-free and vegan makeup channel because I know it can be super overwhelming to actually go vegan with your makeup. It feels like there's so much to it when it really isn't that bad. But if you're not really into it or into makeup, or you don't know too much about what could be not vegan in makeup, I totally understand that it can be a pretty big step. So that is what I build my YouTube channel around. And then, my kind of last step would be hair care products, I think. There are probably way more things in my life that could be vegan that aren't. One of the things that I don't think could be vegan unless something changes, like country or worldwide, is medicine. I used to be on the pill, and I don't think the pill is completely vegan. And I didn't get off the pill for because I'm vegan and the pill might not be vegan. That's another why I stopped taking the pill. But I have ibuprofen or other painkillers, for the frequent headaches that I get. And they are probably not vegan. But when it comes to medicine and health, I think that goes first. And I've told this before. I made an entire video on that no one is truly vegan on my YouTube channel. And I talked about that nobody or a dead vegan can't help anybody. We can't use a dead vegan because they didn't take care of their health. We need vegans who are alive and well and healthy. So that is kind of the bit on vegan policing. Earlier this week, I saw someone post a picture of some candy that they were convinced was vegan. And I actually saw that it was advertised vegan in a local supermarket brochure, which is strange, but it wasn't vegan. And many people commented, it was in a vegan Facebook group, and many people commented, oh yeah, I know you think it's vegan, but it has vegetarian gelatin in it, so it's vegetarian, but there's beeswax in it, or there's some yogurt in it, so they're not vegan, sorry. And then I saw one comment that said that next time they should read the ingredients more carefully, or that they should read better. And that was all their comment said. Just like, next time read better or something like that. And I just thought, okay, this people is clearly a new vegan. And you're gonna shame them for not reading good enough? Or not reading carefully enough? You suck. I'm sorry, I don't like that. I am all for people going on their own journey and taking their own time and doing what's right for them. And I don't understand people like that. So the vegan police is definitely one of the struggles of being vegan, not just because maybe you are being vegan policed, maybe you are being judged by fellow vegans for not being vegan enough or not doing it well enough, or I don't know. But also the vegan police gives us vegans a bad name. Like I just said, people can be mean to me regarding me being vegan. because they read a bunch of shit on the internet. Oh, I try to not like say words like that instead, in case my students listen to this. I don't think so, but oops. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that they read some things on the internet about, well, you know, vegan police people, and that gives me as a vegan a bad name or a bad rep. So please don't vegan police. We don't need vegan policing. We just need people who are supportive of other people and their vegan journeys. That is what we need. So if you can contribute to that, that'd be awesome. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about is when you mess up. And this is something that I still do sometimes. You know, I also had the candies that were in the picture that I completely thought that were vegan. And apparently they weren't. So I had a couple of those candies, then I read that it had beeswax in them, and I was like, oh, okay. So I gave them to my boyfriend, and I didn't purchase them again. And that is how I deal with messing up. I don't feel guilty because the damage is already done. I already purchased the product. I already, supported a non-vegan product with my money. So that is when the damage was done. Because I didn't read the label well enough. Mess ups are gonna happen. And I used to feel really guilty about it. And for some reason, especially in the first couple of months when I started going vegan, when I ate something that wasn't vegan, I would just kind of binge on anything that wasn't vegan. So some cakes and whatnot that weren't vegan, I would binge on those because I felt guilty. And then later I realized that me feeling guilty doesn't do good to anyone. It doesn't do good to me and my well-being, and it doesn't do good for the animals. And the animals were the whole reason that I was vegan. So, when you mess up, it's okay. Everybody messes up, probably even the vegan police. Unless they follow a fruitarian diet, which, don't. It's not good for you. You need more than just fruits in your life, okay? When you mess up, don't feel guilty. Just try again next time and try to do better. I think that is all that I wanted to say about the struggles of being vegan. It's mostly the social aspect, both people who are not vegan who judge you and you trying or having to come out as a vegan, and the reactions of other people, that can be hard. But then also fellow vegans who you think would support you, but can be really judgy. So I think that is where I'm gonna leave off. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. If you have any other struggles of being vegan, I would love to hear them. You can comment them on the YouTube video for this episode. If you're watching on YouTube, you can also email me. I'll put my email address in the show notes. I think that is about it. I upload this podcast every Sunday on 1 p.m. I think it's called Central European Time. I am in the +1 time zone, if that tells you anything. So, I talk about struggles of going through your 20s. And today I talked about struggles of being vegan, because I feel like being vegan, going vegan, is a big thing with people around my age. It was funny because ever since when I went vegan, I didn't know anyone who was vegan, and now I know so many people who are vegan or who are vegetarian or are trying to make vegetarian and vegan choices, which I think is so awesome, because not everybody can be vegan, not everybody wants to go vegan. You don't have to if you really think it's not for you. But I think that everybody can make better choices for their own health, but also for the environment and of course for the animals and the industries that the animals are being used for. And I think everybody who does a little bit more research into those things will come to the same conclusion. So, okay, I'm really gonna end this now. Thank you for listening. I hope you tune in next time. And yeah, hopefully you'll see me or you'll hear me. You will hear me next week. Bye-bye.